Good evening. It is Monday, September the 22nd. This is episode 78 of the Players Meeting brought to you by the Wind Dummy. Got a fun show tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about Green Mountain Championship. Came down to a playoff in the ladies division, a playoff that probably never should have happened. We're going to look at the men's race, which came down to basically the last three holes of the tournament. We're going to look forward to one of my favorite tournaments of the year, the MVP Open at Maple Hill, and then all the other things that we do throughout the show. Tonight's guest will be kind of interesting because he has been on both properties. He might have some interesting takes about similarities and differences and what he thinks the course will do to the competition. So let's just bring him in. Ed, what's happening? Live from Massachusetts.
We're here. MVP Open starts this weekend. Hole one, ready to go.
I bet you'd have a sweatshirt on at least if you were there.
Yeah, sure. It can be chilly there for sure.
Yes, sir. So, well, thanks for coming on, Ed. It's going to be a fun show. A lot of things to unpack about last week's event. Man, we got treated to quite a show. Did you get into any disc golf outside of watching disc golf?
I did not get into any disc golf since the Frontier Open up in Hayes a couple weeks ago. So it's been a little while. Kind of hurt my knee a little bit, so I'm letting that heal up before I get back out there.
Yeah.
But that was a great tournament.
Man, it's fun. It is one that you just don't want to miss. So
yeah, hard to get into. I mean, you gotta sign up early to get on that.
Better be quick, baby. I wish they were all like that. I think I wonder what would happen if they would allow people who stayed at the tournament all the way through payout to sign up that night. I wonder how full they would get.
Yeah, could be a good idea.
That could be interesting to see and be kind of fun. I don't know. So I played League on Friday. I was terrible. The worst round I've had in a while. And then Mike and I went out and worked at Cessna on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know what I got growing on my arm. I've never had poison ivy or poison oak, but
yeah, it's got to be one of those two. There's a lot of it out there.
Poison Cessna, and man, it's itching like crazy. I hope it doesn't spread, but I guess we'll see. So
yeah, I saw some of the posts. I saw some of the posts. It looks like you guys did some good work out there. So it will be fun to see how people like the changes.
Yeah, I mean, taking what you have, it's kind of hard to. We can't just scrap the entire course and build a championship course. Two reasons: one, it's a lot of work and a lot of money, and two, people love the original course, so we're trying to keep that intact and play around it. And there's a few of those holes out there that I think are going to grow into people's favorites to play. I think hole 3 is going to be a fun one that people are really going to enjoy. And then we changed it's hole 8 on the champion course. It tees off from behind the crapper there, hole 12 on classic, and we're actually going. Originally, the championship course played just skip a hole to hole 13's long basket, but now we're going up to 14 short. Man, I love it. It's classic. One turn off of the tee, opposite turn into the green, and I can't throw far enough to make the hole easy, but I'd like to see what somebody like Charlie or Nolan or even Logan can do. So, yeah, it'll be fun to see it shake out. So hopefully everybody will get on board and we can develop it into some sort of a little disc golf complex of sorts. It's hard for me, man, because it's so far from my house to drive all the way across there and invest a lot of time in it when I'm already spending too much time at Millbrook. So anyhow, what do you say? Should we get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's start where we always start. What's popping? What's been going on in the world of disc golf? Well, Ed, how much of the ladies' coverage did you watch?
I watched the a little bit of the first 2 rounds, during the week, working, but I saw a little bit of the coverage, mostly the highlights for the women on Thursday, Friday, and then watched, both rounds, Saturday and Sunday, though, and, which was when most of the action happened for sure. A lot of excitement there at the end, especially.
Yeah, yeah. You sounds like you're in about the same place as me. Unfortunately, I'd probably get fired if I threw it up on the big screen at work and said, "Kids, go do your assignment. I'm going to watch disc golf." So I didn't get any of Thursday or Friday. I did watch some of the highlights, but I watched most of Saturday and pretty much watched and listened to Sunday until it got down to the nitty gritty. I thought it was over going into Sunday's round. I didn't think there was any reason
Yeah,
to
yeah,
watch, but
especially seeing, where Missy ended up after the 3rd round. I was like, "Yeah, this is over," she was playing so well, that 3rd round that thought she just had it locked up,
yeah.
and, that's
Well,
the thing with FPO, boy, you it changes every round. You never know who's gonna pop off.
that's right. Let's take a little look at it. We can see this is the first round and the second round. And after the first round, Missy, I mean, she jumped out to a great start, right? 8 down, had to be over 1,000 rated. I don't know exactly what it was. And there's some names there on the leaderboard that I didn't think were going to make it, to the final card, third and fourth day. Like, I don't think Lisa Fakis is going to ever be there. I know Owen's always going to be there.
Mhm.
Evelina, it just kind of depends on what happens. I was excited to see Cadence. I think she's got a shot at being
Mhm.
a real star in the game. And then all the way down, I didn't expect any of them except for Silva. And I was wondering why the heck wasn't she up at the top?
Yeah, I said the same thing. I was watching, it's like, "Man, where is Silva at? She's gotta be in the top 10," and, had trouble finding her sometimes. They weren't really showing much of her coverage.
Yeah, no, I don't think there was much to watch. And it's super shocking because I would probably put her as the one to beat right now. But
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
guess
now with
I'm
Kristen
wrong.
gone. Mhm.
I guess I'm wrong. But like you said a minute ago, women's coverage, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to come out and do something amazing. We don't know who's going to do the dumbest thing we've ever seen in our life. But it's
Mhm.
going to happen. So after the second round, Missy had another great round, and you can see extended her lead on Lisa, but Own fell just a couple more back. Yeah, fell two more back, but still within striking distance. I felt. Like I said, I don't think Owen's ever out of it. Cadence is still up there, but then there's a name that we don't see very often creeping into that top five.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Double P.
yeah, quite arguably one could be considered the goat in women's disc golf. She might be, and now that Kristen is possibly done, Paige might still be the greatest woman. She definitely has the most accolades of any woman, I would think.
Yeah,
I
at
mean,
least
what?
currently playing, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and she's far better than Val and Juliana and Des. Probably
Yeah,
better
they're
than
they
them.
those women are good, but they're from almost a completely different era. Paige is kind of the modern era for sure, like
Yeah,
kinda like Paul Macbeth.
Paige is the one that started all that for women. I mean, Val's last world title, she won by laying up there at Country Club. There was a hole that Paige and Cat kept throwing out of bounds, out of bounds, out of bounds. Val just went chip, 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 which is something that they don't do anymore. But
Mhm.
at that time, it was still the way to play it. And then there's Silva comes in at even for the round, out of it, right? Don't you think at this point? Double
Yeah.
digits. And then Evelina, we see what happened to her. Just slip, slip, slip. And we can look at some stats on that, but we know what the problem was for sure.
Yeah, it's just so hard to watch sometimes. I don't
Yeah,
know
man,
what
I
to do with.
I feel bad for her because you watch her, she really does seem, except for when she's putting, she seems happy and likable and
Mhm.
easy to root for. But then the second she gets that putter in her hand, she just has a deer in the headlights look the entire time. You can
Mhm.
tell that
I
she
think
is
she rushes
scared.
a lot of those I think a lot of those short putts, the any of those putts that are inside 15 feet, I think she really rushes a little bit, and she just needs to slow down.
I think she needs to just scrap everything she's doing and adopt a different style, maybe a
Mhm.
straddle putt, maybe more of a loft putt so she doesn't run by. Hell, putt the thing left-handed. It can't be
Yeah,
worse. But
yeah, she's doing that hyzer putt almost all the time and just misses to the right most of the time.
yep. And I watched one time she putted from 27, ended up 28, ended up 29, chained out, made the comebacker from she like four putted for a birdie. Okay, round 3. Missy did not shred. Paige did. Closed it to within 6, which still seems like shouldn't be a problem, I wouldn't think, because it's
Mhm.
Paige, right? She's going to do something silly. Own struggled big time, falling
Right.
back 8, toast, forget about it, no chance. Okay, and then you can see the rest of them. Our girl Silva, even
Yeah, not a
par,
factor.
14 back. So third round happens. Like I said, I'm just listening. I'm working out there, listening to it in my headphones, and I'm hearing as the fourth round starts. Paige out of bounds on hole 1. I'm thinking, oh yeah, this thing's over. Forget about it. But then Paige throws it in from had to be 50 feet.
Yeah.
They gave
Yeah,
her
she had a number, I think maybe 4 outside or, outside circle putts, some big ones.
67 feet is what they gave her on that first one to save a par. And Ohm bangs in a birdie. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe. Second hole, well, Paige picks up another one on Missy. Third hole, another one. Fourth hole, fifth hole. It wasn't until the 6th hole that Missy didn't bleed a stroke to
Mhm.
Paige. So now she's only 2 back. I'm thinking, we got a ball game here. And we get to holes 7 and 8. And everything that Paige had made up, boom,
Yeah.
out the window. And I'm like, yep,
Yeah,
I knew it.
yeah, middle of the round, I thought for sure that, yeah, okay, that's it. Paige is just, she's dug herself into a hole. She was, I don't know, 4 strokes back, 5 strokes back around that time, and I was like, "Okay, this is just coming down to Owen and Missy."
Mm-hmm. And Owen was still just chipping away, man. And at hole 12, I think, is where Owen and Paige, but yeah, Owen and Paige both birdied. And I think that tied Owen up with Missy. She's 8 back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. After hole 12, she was tied it up. And we're coming down the stretch. Things are tight. We get to hole 16, and I'm thinking Paige has a short putt, a 20-footer, 23, 24-footer. And I'm thinking, she's going to make this. She's going to take the lead. It's going to be game over. That putt barely made it to the basket. She bounced it to the basket. They all par, and we still have a ball game. Right? Paige is now 2 back of Missy coming into hole 17 and did the champion thing, didn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, just parked it.
Yeah, man. And made a putt, right? If you just missed from 22 feet and barely make it to the lock, and now you're putting kind of a death putt on it was a shorter putt, but it was elevated and scary, but
Mhm.
drilled it and Missy
Yeah,
missed.
and really her putting that whole round was pretty solid. She had a couple shanks on the drive, but pretty much every hole she was making her putts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Not just
that's,
those big ones, but the critical ones, she was making them.
yeah. And a lot, like you said earlier, a lot of long ones. And we get into hole 18. Did
Oh
you
boy.
watch it play out? Did you see how it played out? What a lucky break.
Yeah, I mean, come on. The bridge. The commentators even made the comment that, the bridge took her out, a couple of years ago over in Norway, and then here the bridge saves her life.
Think somebody's hacked you, Ed. I think your wife is posting for
Yeah,
you.
it's gonna be my wife to chime in.
Yeah, so she swings it too wide, hits that bridge, which number one kept her safe. Number two, shot her way into the fairway and gave her a much easier approach, Anheuser, around that tree with whatever
Mhm.
that putter she's throwing is, that flippy thing.
I think it's the fierce.
And yeah, she just stepped up, clutched up, put it up there. What were you thinking as 18's playing out?
Gosh, I mean, I sort of thought that first drive that she had was way too far to the right, and it didn't have a chance to come back in bounds because it was really high. And I was like, they're just not, they're trying not to skip, but from where she was going to need a skip, and
Mm-hmm.
then hitting that bridge. She's kind of lucky it didn't go out into the street, um, but yeah, I just thought, okay, now she's in a spot where she's got a chance to tie this thing up, and it's yeah, let's just see what happens to Missy because she just hasn't been playing that well, so she had to do something special, and both her and Owen just kind of you know barely got in, to finish off that last hole in regulation.
I was really shocked that Owen missed that putt on 18. I figured that was an Owen special, heart,
Hmm.
run up there, fire up the crowd. But she didn't. She missed it left and playoff. Did you see Paige run up that dang hill?
Yeah, I know, right? The Owens in the golf cart with her husband, taking the cart up, and Paige is running up, and then you can see her caddy like struggling to carry her or push her cart behind her
You've
because she
been
was
there.
just
How
she was
big's that
fired up.
hill? Is that hill big?
Yeah, it's a pretty good sized hill. And it's pretty far up there. So
She
she
made
was
it look,
fired up. You could tell
yeah,
she knew at that point that I think she knew she had it right there because she just had to do the same thing that she just did again.
yeah, just a little bit safer. And she's got the distance off the tee that the other two don't have. I mean, Missy throws it far enough. Owen's going to struggle. But yeah, she's laced her drive, absolutely pinned her upshot. Owen thought that she threw a great upshot too. If she hits the or the base, we're going to another hole. But she didn't. She missed, skipped out, left herself a tester. Missy threw it out of bounds. Gone. See ya.
Yeah.
What a collapse. Not a great round. Not a great round for Missy. So I kind of got some hole by hole stats. They're a little bit hard to see here, probably on the screen, but that's Paige at the top, Own in the middle, and then Missy at the bottom. Missy had one birdie the final round. I didn't realize that
Mhm.
until I called it up.
Yeah,
That's
that's
not good.
it's almost like it. It's almost if you look at what Paige did that final round. She was what 3 down, which is not stellar. It was really Missy that just really screwed it over by going +3. I mean, all she needed to do was play par and she wins. And she really just kind of fell apart that last round. I don't know what happened to her.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she was playing not to lose instead of just playing disc golf. Sometimes that can come back and bite you. But looking at Paige's stats here, man, 67, 63, 37, 55, and they gave her a 25-footer on the playoff hole. That's incredible. She went 3 for 5 from circle 2 and 6 for 7 from C1. So that's really good.
Mhm.
That's that's really good. That's making all of your C1s basically, and then picking up 3 serious bonus putts. So, and Missy, dang dude, she had a 30-footer, and that is it.
Mm.
Tough round. 7 of 11 from C1X and 0 for 10 from C2. That's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. So anyhow, enough ladies. I think there's one more slide for him. Oh, there it is. There's the disc bouncing off of the bridge. But hey, man,
Yeah.
15
lucky.
years in a row of getting an Elite Series win. That's incredible.
Yeah,
That is a
it's
lot.
hard to do. I mean, it's definitely hard to do. I don't know who's going to be the next one to do that, if anybody.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. And she's not done. She could get a couple more years probably. So, yes, sirree. All right. Well, let's shift gears. Let's talk about these dudes. What a round by Ezra coming out of the gates. That dude was on a mission, man. 13 down, looked easy, looked like nobody was going to touch him. Goose played well. Ben Calloway, yeah, he's one of those guys that you just kind of, you don't think he's going to stick around, but he could.
Yeah.
Type guy. Matt Bell.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in the top 10, let alone the top 4 in a long time.
Yeah. And well, I mean, I think that's the kind of thing we get out of a course like Brewster is we get a lot of these guys that might not have the distance, the big guns to throw it everywhere they need to in some of the bigger courses. So we see Greg Barsby in the mix and Matt Bell in the mix. I mean, they can both still throw a disc out there forever, but they're not throwing it as far as Goose and some of these other guys. But yeah, so round 1 happened. Okay, here we go with these guys on the lead card. Lead card was not fun to watch round 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to these guys there, but as you can see, Ezra was the only one that was able to hold on to a top 8 or 9 spot there. So yeah, not so fun to watch.
10 strokes worse. 10-stroke swing on the same course in the same conditions. But here came Cole out of nowhere going 12 down and looking to be, maybe make a move and maybe finally prove Ronnie wrong that Cole might win again. That was Ronnie's hot take. Cole Redon will never win. But he sure looked like he had a shot after round 2. And then, hang on a minute, Ed.
Uh-oh, there it is.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
Paul
Beast
McBeth
Mode showed up in a big way.
Yes, he did. He looked amazing on the green. His putt these last 2 tournaments compared to what it was 4 or 5 tournaments ago, he's now putting to make them from everywhere versus, putting to keep it close if he misses. He doesn't care right now. He's throwing that sucker in. And that's what it's going to take. And Paul Kranz, great to see him up there. That dude is super smooth, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really smooth, real young too. I mean, he's probably Gannon's age, maybe a year younger. So,
and little. Paul McBeth was towering over this guy. And Paul McBeth isn't a very tall dude. And then Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin's he's always up there. He's my favorite.
Man, if he could just putt 3 inches higher, which easier said than done.
Yeah, and but Calvin, he puts him in a position. He's always in a position where he's got to make these 40, 50 footers all the time. Where McBeth, I think most of McBeth's putts that he was making, he's not way out in the 60, 50 foot range. He's getting a lot closer, and so making those putts, it looks a lot better when you're not having to struggle from long range.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
he made a few big ones, no doubt.
Yeah, well, and so did Vinny. Vinny made some great putts to keep himself in it. It's just he's such a great thrower that he's always going to be in it. It's just, man, if he ever just dials it in like he's done in the past, he's going to be right there. I mean, he is right there. He's going to win again. So, all right. So round 3, what the heck happened?
Well, maybe before we get to that, I think one thing
Okay.
that's important to talk about is the difference in these two courses. So the Brewster Ridge is virtually all wooded. I mean, there's not a lot of huge, wide open shots for sure, and that gets to your point earlier about a lot of these guys can pop off any day of the week, because you get a random tree hit, and now you're scrambling, and Gossage and Matt Bell and Ben Calloway and those guys that you saw at the top. You don't always see them up there, but the trees add a lot of variation, and it makes the game a lot more interesting. And then you switch over to Fox Run. Got a couple wooded holes, but for the most part, you're out in the open. Some of the greens are protected, but a lot of the fairways are open.
Just a lot more OB on Fox Run as well.
Hmm.
It seems like, I mean, what that 6, 7, 8 stretch, dude, if it's windy and you're playing 6, 7, 8, 9, if you're playing those in the wind, oh my gosh, even 5 was tough for him the last day, coming down off of that
Hmm.
hill to the pond
Yeah.
dam. So yeah, you're right. The variation of courses, I think, is what makes this a fantastic complex. And I think that I love when we have two courses that are so different. We just saw this at
Hmm.
the Worlds, that the monster is wooded and the beast is more throw it wherever you can. We've seen this at where else? At Ledgestone. We got
Yep.
Northwood Black, which you got to hit your lines, and then we go to Lake
Hmm.
Eureka. And I think that's, if you're going to play a 4-round tournament, I think that really makes a difference to have
Hmm.
the course variation. It gives everybody a shot versus the specialist.
Yeah, for sure.
And that they're both fun to watch for different reasons.
Yeah.
I love watching wooded golf, but I also like watching them just throw the stamp off of the disc.
Yeah, I mean, the downside with wooded golf is you're not going to get nearly as many drone shots, and so I love watching those drone shots on those long distance open fairway holes. It's really fun to watch, but if you're buried in the woods, forget about it. So it's harder to film, and kind of if you're not familiar with the course, you're not going to be able to tell where the basket is all the time. You just see the disc disappear to the left or to the right, and you're kind of wondering, did they park it, or where are they at? So it's definitely a challenge, but I still love the wooded holes for sure.
Yeah, and these holes, we're so familiar with them, we can kind of tell too what's gonna happen when they throw it, where they're gonna end up, because we've seen them year after year after year. So round 3, my boy pops off again, takes the lead, 2 strokes over Cole. Paul Cran sticks around, but look who's putting their nose in it.
He's inevitable. I mean, you cannot sleep on the guy.
Oh
He's gonna
man,
creep into that lead card, you know, guaranteed this whole year.
guaranteed. And he's gonna do something ridiculous at some point. He made a couple of knee putts over these last 2 rounds that were
Yeah.
just crazy. And Cole, I'm switching over to the last round. Cole, 2 bad turnovers, throwing too flippy of a disc into a headwind, really cost him probably the tournament. He threw
Yeah.
out of bounds twice in bad spots, and he's got a good sidearm, but I think that he just relies on flipping those flippier discs up and
Yeah.
and gliding. And when you miss one of those and it's going right with OB fairway, you're in trouble. But man, when it works, it is so pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty. But he had a really hot putter as well. That dude was banging him the last round. Let's see what he had. Cole Redalen, round 4. I know that he had multiple C2 putts. He had a 42-foot banger on hole 5, 44-foot banger on 8, 56 on 11. Just
Yeah.
3 just gross putts, all with OB just lurking, ready to just add up bonus strokes. That little hole with the wall, when he threw over the wall and then made that long downhill putt. That was awesome to see Cole show a little bit of emotion and fist bump and yell. I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. When were you comfortable saying this tournament was not going to be won by Gannon Burr?
Boy, I mean, Paul's been pretty consistent, but I was like, man, is Paul gonna lose this, or is Gannon gonna take it from him? Because Gannon's been right there and taking it from him a few times this year. But I think around hole 14, 15, I felt like Paul's just playing too solid, and I just don't think he's gonna throw it away. I think he'll just play consistent, and Gannon's just gonna run out of holes. So.
Well,
But if you look at Paul's putting that last round, I mean, he had one putt he had one at 34 feet on 17 and one at 39 feet on 3, but everything else was less than 20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you're putting it where you need to, either on your drive or your upshot, and that makes the difference. Where Gannon and some of these guys, if you're making these miracle putts, it means you're not in the right spot. It means you did something wrong earlier and you got to recover.
Yeah. Well, if you were giving it to Paul at 14, you got a lot more faith in him than I do. It was I wasn't comfortable even going into hole 16 when Gannon threw his drive and it was left, and I think he intentionally throws the left half of the fairway. And it hyzers out onto that slope, rolls back down onto the flat. I'm like, oh my gosh, this kid's going to get up and down and get birdie. But then Paul just absolutely laced it to prime time, good footing. And that putt on 16, Paul was deep circle 1, probably 26, 27 feet. And Gannon missed. I would have lost money on Gannon's putt on that hole.
Yeah, I mean, he just never misses. It's so rare that he misses anything, and to see a miss like that, it just doesn't make sense. Especially when he was making all those ones from the knee, like he's standing up.
Yeah, he doesn't use any lower body, so going to a knee doesn't really change his putting stroke like it does a lot of people for sure. Mm-hmm. But then we go into hole 17, and Paul would much rather have 2 strokes going into 18 than 1, and he left himself edge of circle just outside, and whoo, I was so nervous, Ed.
I know. I mean, that up, he's on the uphill side, so at least the basket is sort of body height, so he's throwing or putting straight at it, but you got that scary downhill roll, and so any metal, and you're in trouble.
Yeah, you easily could be out of bounds, but that's Paul frickin' Macbeth, so he just goes up there and just gets it in. We're not going to say he drilled it. It was a little left, but knocks it in, gives him 2 to go into 18, and I still wasn't comfortable until his tee shot landed safe, and then I thought, yep, this is over because Paul Macbeth can kick his disc down the fairway and get it. And
yeah, I mean, obviously he had a couple of strokes to spare. That's why he's saying, I think around the 14, 15 mark. I mean, he really would have had to make a big mistake, and he'd been playing pretty consistent, no bogeys the whole round. And so I think he was feeling the groove. He was in the groove.
Do you think Cole played it right, trying to James Conrad Paul there on 18? Because he was trying to make it for the eagle to tie Paul, to force Paul to have to birdie.
I mean, honestly, I just don't know what else Cole could have done in that, because I mean, he can't just throw an upshot and hope that Paul misses. So I mean, he's got to try to throw it in, and he wasn't really in the best spot to even throw it in. But he got it basket high, but he was pretty far off. He had really no chance.
Well, it did cost him almost $3,000.
Yeah, there is that. And honestly, before this, I was looking at his stats. He has not played very well this year. I mean, he's got a couple of decent tournaments, but for the most part, Cole has not been that hot this year.
He's been injured too. He wasn't even going to play this tournament. he had something going on with his hip, and he played it. And I'm assuming now that you're on the East Coast, if you're not going to stay there and play MVP, if you're qualified, and USDGC, I mean this is the best part of the disc golf season right now. The weather is fantastic until you get to USDGC and it rains and blows and it's crappy. But just the courses are from here on out are, man, some of my faves.
Yeah.
Some of my faves for sure. So
yeah, so now it's been since 2017 that when I looked up that you've got Paul and Paige both winning this event at least at this location. I don't recall if you go how far back you got to go when they didn't play both courses out there. I don't remember back in the day. I don't think they played both Fox Run and Brewster Ridge. It might have just been Fox Run only. It's been too long, but in my recent memory of watching them, it seems like they played both courses out there.
Yeah, I don't know how far back it really goes on that, but I wonder how many times those two have both won the tournament at the same time. It's got to be dozens.
Yeah, I think it's been since 2020 was probably the last time they did it at any tournament, so it's probably been 5 years. But yeah, I mean, before that, it just felt like they were winning everything. From 2015 to 2020, it was Paul and Paige. That was who won.
Yep. Well, a couple of other stories from the men's side this week that I felt were kind of interesting and worthy of talking about. First of all, what about Simon? Do you watch Simon's tournament vlog?
I watch them sometimes. I usually look to see how long they are, and some of them are like 45 minutes to an hour. So it kind of just depends on how long they are. But so I haven't watched too many of his recent ones.
I'm so intrigued by it. I find it super interesting to see what the heck he's doing during his downtime. More than anything, there's guys just out there just goofing around, having fun, taking up. Didn't want to be filmed anymore. They didn't film every shot of the round, and he aced a 475-foot hole, and they didn't get it on in the vlog. That somebody obviously in today's age has cell phone footage of it, but
yeah, we saw the two aces, right?
Two dudes got that one.
Hole 10, I think, on the first round with Cole, and then Evan Smith got it the first round, and then the second round Simon put it in.
Yeah. I think they both got the same hole. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he's just originally he was videoing every shot. They were doing daily uploads, and man, that would be a grind to be on tour, videoing, editing, and he had somebody with him, but still, Simon doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's just going to be completely hands off. He's going to be involved with it, and he wants to turn out a good product. He's not just going to turn out crap. And then they went to tournament recap videos at the end, and he said he's just done with all of that now. He just wants to focus on playing disc golf, and the videos will be more of the other things that they do, which I'm fine with. And like you said, maybe they'll be a little shorter and easier to consume. But yeah, I thought I was really digging them, and I was a little disappointed that whole thing is gone now.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing,
it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of effort.
The other thing, what about Rick?
What's up with Rick, man? I mean, first he misses his, he's always late to his tee times and gets that 1-stroke penalty. And I never heard what happened this time, but gets the 4-stroke penalty for missing the hole altogether.
Now,
I don't know if he even played it, did he?
He was too late. I 100% forgive him for being late at Worlds because he was watching.
Yeah, I mean, that's a decent excuse watching to see who the women's going to win.
Yeah, that I can see. But this is weird because I'm guessing Rick was probably there somewhere. I've heard things like dropping a deuce. So you better take care of that a little bit earlier, Rick. So that pretty much.
I don't know what he did this time.
That's put him crazy. Behind the 8 ball. He's still cashed, but
I'm just glad that he didn't finish in fourth place or some stupid thing like that, where it may actually made a real difference, because that would have been embarrassing.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is Rick's probably in a little different situation than a lot of these other dudes that are,
Mhm.
the Paul Crans who are grinding to make money to stay on tour. Rick's probably in a pretty decent spot with his whatnot videos and
Mhm.
sponsorship and Bitcoin and yeah, but still, come on, dude. This is your job, bro.
Yeah, I could not believe that. Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully he has a good reason. I haven't heard anything. So that's kind of weird.
Mhm.
Kind of weird. So you're on the grounds there. A fantastic event, right? The MVP Open at Maple Hill. Is that what it's called this year? And I asked you, I
Yep.
said, Ed, favorite holes. And you shot them to me. Oh, here's our past winners of this event. Some interesting winners and some interesting scores. Look at that Bradley Williams score compared to all the rest of them.
Wow.
Pretty sure that's
That's
Chipmunk
crazy.
Gate.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was. You can just say things. You don't have to post them. So yeah, this is a fun tournament. And she's right. The 8 holes make it fun. They also can get a little bit annoying and a little bit rowdy. And I would imagine if you're playing a little bit bad, you don't like the 8 holes when you're not on hole 8.
Yeah, because you honestly hear all of the commotion and everything going on from that hole across the whole course. I mean, it's pretty loud, and um, so I don't know. I mean, do you want the rowdiness? Do you want the party atmosphere, or do you want like ball golf where everything is just silent throughout the whole course? I don't know. I think with disc golf, they're trying to keep it as fun as possible. I mean,
I like
it's a little bit of a spectator sport to some degree.
I
So
like it. I like them being silly. I like them having fun. Same with the guys in Iowa. I think they're fun. Now the guys in Iowa are actually serving a purpose. They're crossing guards. They're keeping people from walking across the course. I think the 8 holes are just partying.
yeah.
So, and I think as the day goes on, I think the 8 holes get a little bit more loud and a little bit more
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it sure seems like that for sure.
I'm pretty
But,
sure that has a lot to do with why they get out of control. So let's
but
look at our holes. I picked hole 3. I just think hole 3 is a cool hole. Got to clear that little bit of OB, bend that disc through the trees, hyzer it back up the hill. 407 feet. That is so dang far up the hill. And these
yeah,
guys just make it look easy. And we've seen Dave Philberg ace it.
I
I
was just
don't
gonna
know.
say that I think this is the famous, Dave Philberg ace hole from years and years ago, probably a
Yeah.
decade ago.
Yeah. I'm guessing there's been other aces too. You picked number 1.
Yeah, I think it's just, I think of it's just so iconic, this huge downhill. The water really is not an issue for the guys. I mean, they're blasting past that. It's a little bit of an issue for the ladies, of course. And they've changed it up a little bit. I mean, right behind, as a spectator, I mean, there's huge bleachers immediately behind this basket, so it allows you to see all the way down, so you can see the whole fairway from the bleachers. And they've tweaked the green a little bit down there by adding that triple mando, which was, I think, new last year. um, and Steve Dodge, he's trying to always do something to keep the fans involved, and so they cleared out kind of a spectating area around the green a little bit down there, so it's not completely wooded. And but it's just that first hole, it's a little bit like at uh, Champs Landing, where you've got this, first hole is feels like a par 5 because it's so long. This one, it's 870 feet or so, and you can just freaking just blast any kind of disc you want to get way down there. So it's just fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's a super cool hole. I think that drive would be so fun to throw. But the reason I couldn't call it my number one is I don't like the flukiness of you can throw a drive. Your drive and my drive can be 8 feet apart, and I can be balls deep in a Christmas tree,
Yeah.
and you're perfect.
Yeah.
I don't like that aspect of it. I think that brings quite a bit of luck into it. And I don't know how I feel about the triple mando. I like the fact that they have to hit it. I think it looks kind of cool. It's like just the front of a building, right? That's all it is.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like the covered
Bridge.
bridges that they have in the New England area. So they tried to replicate that a little bit. It's only about 3 feet wide, so it's not very big. But yeah, there is some flukiness in the landing zone for sure. But usually it just depends on the trees. I mean, some of them are not super tall, so you got a shot at it. But yeah, I just kind of like the aesthetics of it. Maybe as a player, it might be a different story.
Well, I'll give it to you. It's iconic looking. When somebody sees it, they know, oh yeah, that's hole one at Maple Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're probably not going to recognize hole three from a quick video clip. But you also liked the 8 holes, hole 8.
Yeah, this is another one. It's shorter, 364, so it's an ace run. I mean, you're pretty much wide open. You're not going to hit anything except there's 2 trees, guarding trees that are probably edge of circle on both the left and the right hand side. So it's not a gimme ace. You can't just hyzer anything in there. So you kind of got to laser beam it to have a good chance at the ace. And it seems like every year there's at least one, if not 2 or 3 aces on this hole because it's not so far. And then the drop zone is very tricky because you're uphill, throwing a pretty far, maybe it's outside circle and throwing downhill, and you're gonna, if you hit any metal or anything, you're going right back into the water. So it's not an easy hole, but I think the combination of the water carry and the ace potential plus the ace holes surrounding the back end of it, I think it makes it pretty fun.
Yeah, I think this is one I think that people will recognize if they just saw the hole. And I'm with you. It's probably a blast to play. I'd like to know what the tour guys think of this hole. I'll bet this thing's like they look at it like, I got to get it or I'm toast.
Right.
And it is about 70 feet farther than it used to be. They used to play way up closer to the water, probably where the ladies.
Yeah, I think was it the pin was closer or you think the pin was closer to the water?
No, I think the tee pad got moved back.
Okay, gotcha.
A little bit to make it a more fitting hole for today's skill level. And then you like 14, the Matty.
Yeah, I think 14. It's very similar. It's obviously quite a bit longer. And but boy, you gotta. I mean, you're way uphill. I mean, it's a little bit deceiving, but you're pretty high up. So that distance is not really a factor. It's that wall that's just to the right, right at the edge of circle. I don't even know if it's the edge of circle. It's probably closer to that.
It's
maybe
way closer.
Like bullseye.
Yeah, it's way closer.
So you gotta hit it just right. And luckily, to the left of the pin, they've added a little bit of a backboard because that's what happened in years in the past. You'd land like right underneath the basket, and then you'd skip 50 feet to the left. And now you got a massive death putt coming back at that water. But now they've added a little bit of a backboard because they've got bleachers back there because this is another good spectator hole. And so they've tried to protect the fans a little bit. But still, seeing Matty O put that thing in for an ace of his last year or 2 years ago, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll bet lefties hate this hole, Ed.
I bet they do.
Maybe they have the perfect flippy disc that they can throw out there and let it ride, and they can keep it closer than a righty. But yeah, you're right. Righties are coming in there with hyzer angle and heat and skipping over there. I think Rick has probably made 20 putts in his career from the trees over there left. So come on, it's Maple Hill. There's 18 pretty killer holes. So another iconic hole that everybody's going to recognize when they see it. You might not know the number, but you're going to say, "Oh yeah, that's Maple Hill. I know that."
Exactly.
All right, and then I said, Ed, what holes do you not like? You
Yeah,
don't get
I'm
to
really
decide
just
this.
underwhelmed with the back half of the course. After you throw kind of that cool hole 10, you throw up to that castle is the castle hole where you throw up that big hill with everything that you got, and most guys are still coming up short unless you're Eagle McMahon or some of these huge bombers. And so you're at the top of the hill, and now you have these three holes on the back, and I don't know. Hole 11 looks very similar to hole one if you take away the water, and it's a big, huge downhill. And I don't know, these next three holes in succession are just kind of boring and very forgettable. I mean, you're not going to recognize those as being Maple Hill holes for me at least. I mean, aside from the Christmas tree farm aspect of it,
Yeah,
of course, but
they're holes
yeah, a
you
little
play.
underwhelming for me. And I
Holes
see
you
you put hole 5 on there. I mean, now I was going to pick hole 5 as well. It's this short. I mean, anybody that's got a forehand is putting it under the basket, if not putting it in the basket. So it's and I never see anybody throwing the backhand on this
Yeah.
unless it's an FBO player or something. And so it's a little underwhelming. Even though I love throwing over the water kind of holes, this one's a little boring.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit. I don't like the fact that the wall is so close to the basket. If you come in just a little bit short, you're out of bounds. I don't like the fact that you could maybe even hit the basket and bounce back out of bounds. It's just, I wish there was a way people, and I can flick, and I still don't think I would care for this hole that much. It's just, yeah, doesn't seem like a pro tour caliber hole. And then isn't
Yeah,
six the one after the little downhill where you see people throwing tomahawks and
that's
flicks
the
and
that's the hole before this. That's hole 4.
four. That's another one that it might be more awesome when you're there, but when you watch them play it, it's just
Yeah,
you'll
hole 4, I know a lot of the pros hate that one because it's essentially a double mando right coming right off of the tee pad. You got two trees that look like they're maybe 5, 6 feet apart from each other, and that's why you see guys throwing tomahawks because they're just the backhand is so risky, and so it's a flick, just a light flick or a standstill putter down the middle, or that tomahawk is a good play because it's at least you're going to get down to the bottom pretty easy.
yeah, and it's probably not going to go ripping past the basket and splash into the water that's not too far behind. Here's a change. Have you seen this?
I have not.
That's hole 17. This comes from Andrew Presnell.
Oh,
You can
oh
see
yeah. I
a
think I did hear about this. I think Steve Dodge mentioned this a couple weeks ago on Smashbox that they pushed that T pad back.
you can see a dude standing there in the gap, and it looks like he can reach out and touch both sides of the tree.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Presley said it's
That's
about
stupid.
7 feet wide, 100 feet away.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I mean, even the best forehand specialists are, where you can look straight at that, are going to have a tough time making that gap.
It'll be interesting. I think that it's gonna ruin a lot of people's day.
Because this one's a little complicated because now, so they made this, the tee shot hard, and then the basket is an elevated basket that's perched right on a little bit of a cliff, a seam, a little berm or whatever. And so it's already a tough putt. You're putting at an elevated basket with a huge downhill. And boy, this one's going to be a tournament breaker. I have a feeling.
Yeah, it's not gonna go over well. I'm pretty sure. We'll see. It'll be fun. I mean, the worst thing that could happen is we could have a heated battle coming down the stretch. Two dudes just on fire, and one dude rips it down there and nicks the left edge of the tree on the right, and his disc anhyzers through the gap and goes another 250 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And another dude is 1 inch farther to the right and ends up kicking right into that crap with nothing. That would I don't know, man. That seems pretty tiny to me. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think UDisc has that at 476 feet. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. All right. Let's get into some weekly picks. Let's see how I did against Braxton last week.
Oh yeah.
Brought that kid on, son of a gun. We went with sleepers. He went with Matteo because they're boys. I went with Alden Harris because, well, I'm an idiot. Alden Harris got 61st, which is 19 worse than his normal. And
Wow.
Matteo was 11 better. So the B man gets the green on the sleeper. What a terrible pick. Then we went stinks. And I was pretty sure I was going to get some roadouts on this till that first round. I thought this kid is unstoppable. Braxton is the greatest at making picks ever. He went with Gannon Burr.
Yeah, I
I
mean
went with
that was
Ezra.
the worst decision ever.
Well, it almost cost him big time. So he got a red because Gannon
I
Burr
mean,
actually did better
yeah,
than
it
his
couldn't
average.
be. Yeah, it couldn't be any worse than that. You know.
And I got a yellow because Ezra Aderholt wasn't, we didn't see anything about him, but he was one better than he normally is, than his average.
Mhm.
So, hey, I'll take a yellow. And then for our shines, we both did pretty well. He gets the green because he took Vinny, and Vinny got a T7, which is really good. And I had little Nick, who got a 10th place solo, I believe.
Yeah, not
So
terrible.
I didn't get any greens, but I only got one red. But Braxton gets the win, and another loss for me. Tried to
Yeah.
get Lucas on this week because I needed an easy win, but he was busy. So I hope you're not good at this game, Ed.
I hope not.
So, all right. Well, the way this
What?
always works, I let the guest pick first. They can pick whatever category. They can back their pick with stats. Probably doesn't matter. You're probably going to beat me.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I got three guys lined up here. Let's. I'm going to go with the sleeper first. And I mean, it's his home course, home field advantage. I mean, he's been top 10 at Idlewild and Deglow. Was so this last weekend, but I got to go with my boy Simon Lizotte. I think he's going to. I mean, he's played this course probably 100 times a year. I feel like. I mean, he just owns this place. So Simon's my sleeper.
And he won it 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
He won it from Chase Card or something. He was already
Yeah, I
there.
think that was what? That was the year before Matteo won, so
I think
maybe
so.
4 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, Simon's always a good pick. Do you know what his average finish is this year?
I do not.
That would be my only concern with Simon as a sleep is he's probably a 15th, 16th, 17th place guy on the average. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, Ed, you should know. Your wife says that's the year you were there.
Yeah.
So, all right. I went with a guy who played great this last weekend. He shot a really hot final round after starting with a bogey, Mr. Parker Welk.
Yeah, she shredded this weekend. I mean, he is a little bit on fire. So we'll see if he can keep that momentum going this week.
And the reason I think he's a great pick is he's averaging 42nd place on tour, and he got 7th at Maple Hill last year. So plays it pretty good.
Yeah, so maybe he's got the course figured out.
All right. I'm going to save my stink because I might be taking you to dinner, Ed. That's the way I roll. I'm going to go shine. I get to go first. I get to go first this time.
Okay.
So on the shine, I went with a guy who is averaging 17th on the tour this year. Pretty good player. You don't see too much about him. He played great at Vermont. Evan Smith got 20th last year. I think he's a solid pick. The guy's Guy's really good.
Yeah, he's destined to win. I mean, he's always right in the mix there. Usually top 10 almost every week, it seems like.
He might be the best player not to win. Him and Marweed.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say Marweed's probably right behind him.
Yeah, race between those two guys. See who can be the next is. Who you got shining?
Um, well, I mean, he got 5th last week, and he was who I picked to win last week, and he's had a pretty solid season, and he's your 2-time world champ.
I like your style.
I got to go with my guy Rob. I think this is going to be his year. He didn't. I don't think he played last year because I think it's when he got married, but he played in, I think 2023 was the last time he played there and was like 19th. But he's very consistent, and like I said, he's had a couple wins this year, if I remember right. And he, again, I think he played pretty well this week as well. So if he can hold off Gannon, again, with it being a wooded course, I think that helps some of these big, equalize some of the big throwers. He's really master of that backhand turnover,
Yes,
and
he is.
I think he's going to take it down this week.
Man, he should be in the mix for sure. The course suits his game well. His putting is on. Forget about it. He's probably going to win. And he's another one of those guys that I think more rounds helps him. He might not come out and shoot the hottest round, but he's going to shoot 4 good rounds.
Yeah,
kind of like
that
Gannon.
consistency. That's I think that makes all the difference in every disc golf tournament. It's your consistency week in and week out. And so yeah, if you can string, you get a 4-round tournament, the guys that are always consistent are going to rise to the top, like Gannon and Paul and Isaac, Calvin. All these guys are always in top 10.
Okay, who you got stinking it up?
Well, he's been stinking it up all year, honestly, and he's the 4th highest rated guy on the planet, and he just cannot get his act together. And it's Ronnie's boy, AB. I mean, Anthony Barella he's terrible. And last 3 events, he was 23rd, 27th, and 41st. And I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. He needs to get his act together, but I think he's going to struggle this week as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to say he sucks, but he's my pick too. Yeah, mainly because he's trending the wrong way currently.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, he started out the year okay, and then it's just I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. If it's some stuff off the course or whatever, but he's definitely struggling.
Yeah, but he's one of those dudes that if everything's clicking this weekend, he's going to win. That's why.
Yeah, and like I said, I'd say that mainly because this course has. I mean, there's maybe like those ones on the back 9 and hole number 1. I mean, there's got a couple bomber shots that he's going to shine on, but a lot of those wooded shots he's gonna be equalized with guys like Isaac and Simon and some of these other guys that can just shred in the woods. So yeah, I think he's going to struggle this week.
Yeah, we'll I can't bag on him because he's my pick too. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm feeling like we're gonna have a pretty good battle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Survivor. It's down to 2. Ed, Smitty versus Patsy. You can see we're 8 weeks into this thing, and we have both pretty much used all of the dudes. We are.
Have you noticed? Or have you both picked the same players every week, or has there been a difference?
Well, the second week I took Gannon and she took Kyle. The 4th week I took AB and she took Gannon. And other than that, we've picked the same all the way through. So bad news. We both picked the same guy this time too, according to Jordan. Wow. So who do you think we're on?
Boy, looking at these names and who's left. Boy, I don't know. I mean, it could be like a Kyle Klein, or it could be a Gossage, or maybe Ezra Robinson, I should say.
Ding, ding, ding. We're both on Ezra this week.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, he's hot. He's definitely playing well. So I have a feeling we're going to go to another round.
well, we're either going to go to another round or it's over and we're splitting.
Yeah,
So,
when's the season over? You gonna go all the way to USDGC, or all the way to the
yep. Yeah, well, we'll pick
championship?
USDGC. We'll keep going until we have a winner. But this one's went so dang long that we're not going to have time to
I
fire.
think there's only two. I mean, not counting this one, there's two more events left: USDGC and the Pro Tour Championship, right?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure she's hacked my computer and knows when I send Jordan the pics, or he's in cahoots with her or something. Yeah, we
Oh,
picked the same Patsy. Don't act surprised. She's going to think I cheated. That's going to be her next thing. He cheated off of me again.
hmm
Now look at all these haters in the crowd. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed that we're on the same dude. I wish we would have went a different way so we could have finished it off this week, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, although Patsy, we could both pick somebody different if you're feeling it. I'm not afraid to go another way.
hmm
So we could just get rid of Ezra and we could both pick somebody different. That's up to Patsy. She can
hmm
tell me here or reach out to me in the comments, or just be a chicken and make it to the next week. All right, Ed, we're down to the final segment of the show. Welcome to Big Deal, the segment of the show where Ed Root takes a deep dive into things that everyone is talking about, whether they deserve the hype and truly are a big deal, or are they just a total overblown, yeah, big deal, bro. You haven't seen this unless you check the slides later.
I did not. I have not looked ahead. No cheating.
Okay, Ed, we're in the playoffs, baby. Last week was the first playoff event. I'm not going to show you that yet. Get that out of here. Ed, are the playoffs a big deal, or are they yeah, big deal, bro?
I like the notion of a playoffs. I just feel like the execution of the playoffs doesn't feel like there's anything on the line. I mean, obviously they cut the field down, so I think there's what, maybe 70 or 80 guys in this event. So there was less people playing, but 80 people doesn't feel like a playoff to me. It feels like there should be a little bit more on the line. And in a playoff situation, I mean, Gannon is already locked in on the points. I mean, he could basically take 100 the next two rounds, and he's going to still win the Pro Tour points. I mean, he's so far ahead. So now it's just a matter of everybody else playing. Who's going to make it into the finale. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it takes to fix it, but it just feels like I don't know. It just seems like a normal event. I don't see what the difference is playoff wise. Maybe it's in the commentating. Maybe they should focus more on the guys that are on the cut line. The people that are trying to make it in. Put more coverage on the drama, on the storylines. But so yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, the way they're executing it.
I don't even know what the heck it is. It almost seems more like it's not a playoff. It seems more like it's a play in.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Because
if you're already top 25 or so, why do we care if you're even playing? You're already in. Let's focus on the guys that are in that bottom 25, or that are trying to make it in, and make it a battle, so that you're seeing, people get cut. That I think would make it, when you're watching it, much more exciting to see, oh, this guy, if he makes this putt, he's in, or if he misses that putt, he's out. That would at least make it more exciting. And they did a little bit of that, like on the FPO. They showed Erica Stinchholm making the putt to stay in, and by her making that long putt at the end, she knocked somebody off. But they needed to do more of that. I mean, to kind of make it a little bit to make the show more interesting. But I don't know really how the best way to do that, but it seems like a missed opportunity in my book.
I wanted to know it says top 72 and the top 8 finishers at GMC that aren't in the top 72. So I wanted to know who those were. I wanted to know who the 8 dudes and the 4 chicks were. I went to the Disc Golf Pro Tour website and scoured that thing.
No info.
No luck. Right? And you know what? If you're not in the top 72, if you're not in the top 20 in the men's, you're not winning.
You're not going to win. So.
You're not winning. And that's the only real thing that I understand about this, that it gives you another shot to qualify. And you're either going to qualify by being in the top 32. Number 72 plus 8 isn't going to get that. Or you can qualify by winning. These guys aren't going to win.
Yeah, and I haven't seen what it seems like every year they change the format of the Pro Tour Championship. And so if it was something where, when you play, if you qualify and now you're going to play in that championship, if there's another cut, like the top 20 guys, they just get a bye. They don't even have to play the first round because they're already in. And now all these other guys are vying to get into that top 30, if you will. I think they did a couple of years ago, some variation of that. Then it makes more sense. But it's like they're trying to combine a regular Pro Tour event with a playoff event. And then, like you said, nobody understands how the playoffs even work and who's really in it and who's out of it.
Yeah.
So,
I
think it's a big deal, bro.
Yeah. It's stupid. Okay. Here's the thing. The only person we know is Erica Stitchcomb, right? We both saw the putt. She finished 37th last week. She miscast by 13 people. Good job, Erica. You get to go now play Maple Hill. Go ahead and pony up $300 more for that. Mm-hmm. Stay on the road another week. Congratulations. You are now losing another $2,000 because you got into the playoff.
Right.
I don't understand it. It's get rid of it, man, or make it something awesome. I have no idea what it even means. To me, that's the worst big deal bro we've ever had. That's a total, who cares?
It's poorly executed for sure.
I don't even think they know. Maybe that's the problem. All right, Ed, we made it. Got any shout outs?
I do have a big shout out here. So at the last minute, you know what these are.
Uh-oh.
I can
disappearing.
We got this.
The fish.
We got a fish. We got some birds.
Buffalo.
Got the buffalo.
You got a complete set now, don't you, you dog?
Stupid tiger.
Tiger Lily.
There he is.
Who'd you get it from?
Mr. Money Mike came through at the end, clutch. So full set now.
There we go.
Open 6-disc collection. I think the only mold that I need is probably a putter because I've got drivers and fairways and a mid-range. So maybe next year I'll find a putter mold.
I don't even know what molds I have, but mine are all chilling right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, one's a vandal, felon, raider, truth, trespass, and the first one was a sergeant.
That's just so fun that we
almost
do that.
A full bag.
I love the fact that Garrett contacted me early and said, "Are we doing this again?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course."
Of course.
So that's great that Garrett hooks us up with that. That's cool, and it's fun to have something
probably not too many out there with a full set. I don't know how I missed the first one. I don't know if I didn't go or if I just didn't get the disc. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know that either. There's a few sets. I know that I have one. Jeff Leahy has one. Chase Boyd has one. Craig probably has one. Elliot DeLong. Maybe Marianne.
Maybe.
So there's a few sets out there for sure. So that's
Mhm.
cool. Well, I got to give my shout out
Money Mike.
to
Mhm.
Ty, Casper, and Hudson. They've been working on the back end for the Kansas Junior Championships. They got the disc ready to go today. They're putting the order in tomorrow. The shirts will get ordered this week. They're taking care of all that. So I had a kid from Littleton, Colorado sign up yesterday. And we're at a point where when people sign up, I just instantly refund their money and say, we got enough sponsors. Thank you. This is covered by. So pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So
yeah, I
guys,
think getting everybody in for free is not going to be the problem. It's just getting the word out to more kids to get them signed up.
Yep. Use up all those spots. If we don't use it all up in kids entry fees, we'll make sure that we throw in another disc or buy pizza for lunch, or we'll do something with it. So we'll make sure it all goes back to them, and it's gonna be fun.
Yep,
I can't
good.
wait. I can't wait. So all right, dude. I gotta go. I gotta go see what's going on in football and try to catch some shut eye. So thanks for coming on, Ed.
Yeah, had a great time. Thanks for setting this up. We'll catch you next week.
Yeah, man. I don't know what happens if AB wins. I guess we go Dutch. All right, dude. Later.
All right. Take it easy. See you later. Bye-bye.